All right, we're gonna do a real quick steak video. I have about a 1-inch ribeye. I would personally like a little thicker. We'll get to that in a second. But what we are gonna talk about now is how to get it properly ready. So the steak has been sitting out for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. You want it to come up to room temperature as much as possible. I keep it wrapped in paper towels so that when it gets to this moment, comes off dry, right? You want no moisture, because what happens is once that steak hits the pan, if there's moisture in there, it's gonna steam the meat instead of frying it, and you're not gonna get that nice good crispness. Stay there. So, gotta make sure the pan is on. We've already preheated it. You wanna use the oil with a high smoke point. So your extra virgin olive oil, you don't wanna do that because it's gonna be like 300s. You need something that's gonna go higher, 400s, 500s. Olive oil, regular olive oil, grapeseed oil, etc. So, you've got your steak, you've let it come to room temperature as much as possible, and you've dried it with some paper towels. Now you have to get it ready, right? So, before you cook, have it all standing by. Butter, garlic. You don't have to do anything crazy for the garlic. Literally take your knife, garlic, whack, the end. Pull it out of the shell, right? You have your salt and you have your pepper. Pepper is optional, salt is a must. So, we are ready. The stove is hot. The oil is ready. The oven has been at 425 for about 20 minutes so that it can fully heat. We're gonna get it ready. So the first thing is salt your meat. Now you're gonna salt one side right now, and that's gonna be the first side that you put down. Now salt draws water from the meat. So you wanna salt it right before you put it in. Now notice, I'm still putting salt on it. A lot of this is gonna get lost in the pan, right? So you want this bad boy as salted as possible, and then we're going right to the pan. You want it nice and hot and smoky, and you want that good sizzling down. You don't have to pat it down, you don't have to hold it, just sit there and wait. And give it about 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes each side, and you'll have that perfect crisp. Okay, now we're getting about ready to flip. That's when I'm gonna go ahead and salt the other side. There's already gonna be a little bit of moisture coming out, but I'm going to do it last second before you flip. And this is where, if you want, you can add some pepper. So just get under there and flip it over. That's a pretty, Alexa, stop. That's a pretty decent crust, I'd say. So we're going to go ahead and give that a little more time, about 2 minutes on that side, and then we're going to add the butter and the garlic. Okay, so the steak's about halfway done with searing the second side. We're going to go ahead and add our knobs of butter into there. Get that down, and then we're going to add, on top of that, the garlic. Now let that sit in there for a second. Now we're using a cast iron pan, not because it makes the thing taste good, necessarily, but because of the thick bottom. You want that heat. The more heat you have in the bottom of your pan, the thicker the bottom of the pan, the better it's going to retain that heat when you set it down, and you're going to have a good, even cook on your meat. So with this butter, you're gonna keep the garlic in it, let it roast, let it fry, or let it sizzle, let it fry, and then just keep basting the steak. So I can lift the steak off the heat like this, and it's still cooking the bottom because of that thick ass, right? Everyone likes it thick. So you're gonna baste this side, and then I'm gonna flip it over, baste the other side, and then pop it into the oven. With a cut about this thick at 425, we're gonna cook that for, I'd say, 7 minutes for medium rare. Alright, so the steak is out, it's resting. You want to let it rest for at least 5 minutes, but the thicker the cut, the longer you want it to rest. See all that juice coming out right now? By letting it rest, the meat's been shocked by the heat. It's tight, it's tense, the juice will splurt everywhere, right? So don't poke it, don't stab it. You're going to have a little natural leakage. It happens, right? But by letting it rest, that juice reabsorbs, the steak gets really flavorful. So, in the meantime, we have these Brussels sprouts. Now, come over here. Remember, we had all that butter and oil, and now there's some rendered steak fat. So all you need to do is pour these in. For the most part, you shouldn't need to salt them because a lot of salt came here. Stir that up, and then just cook them down to your desired doneness. That can be your nice side dish. Cool. So our steak is rested, our side is finished. It is time to cut the meat. So we started the meat cutting or cooking. We had a moment of question of whether or not we needed to stop it. And then while reviewing the video, Alexa shut off the alarm. So this might be a little off. Yeah, we ended up cooking just about a minute and a half, 2 minutes longer than expected. But nonetheless, I want to focus on the good things about this steak, because this is far from a dry piece of meat. You got the nice crust, you have the salty goodness, still juicy inside. Shit. If that came to my table at the steakhouse, I wouldn't send it back. I'm not just saying that because I made it. So, that's it. Aside from the fuck up on the time, delicious steak, Brussels sprouts, quick, easy, tasty, goodness. Thank you guys for watching.